Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday morning trading session. Hold on one second here. I will get you my monitor. Big open this morning. A huge open in the market. Wow, that's a little bit of a surprise, I think. Well, it was for me. I was expecting the NQ to start tailing off a little bit, but nothing of the kind. Here, let's take a look at the Raptor. We'll take a look at the overnight here in a moment. There we go. Let me turn that off. Let me turn that on. All right, so what we've got is we've got the North American session finishing up. Where were you? Right about here. 315, right here. And you can see the Asian session fairly active. There was quite a bit going on in the Asian session. Some decent signals there. No significant ranges, but certainly enough that you could have gotten a few short-term trades out of it. More active than usual. And then here comes the London session, and all of a sudden the market just starts climbing and climbing and climbing. And here we are at, where are we now? At our open. And we've come all this way here. So this is going to be a rather substantial looking opening gap to traders this morning. I think we're going to see the market try to get in there to start before attempting another rally, I think. Okay, I just heard a trend signal, and here we go with our eagle. And you can see it's a hard edge bounce. This bar right here that just formed is actually become our signal bar. So I'll cover the trade maybe to there. We'll dial back the ATR a little bit. Now it's only, a couple, 3 minutes into the session, but you can see we've had our test of the extreme. The market's come down, hit the hard edge, tried to rally, failed, come back, and now we're kind of getting a combo rule of three, trend change signal, the whole works right there. So this is actually a pretty good looking signal. I think we might, well, hopefully we'll see the market tail off from here a little bit. Oh, thanks, Jim. He says it's quad witching on the European market, so that means it's going to be probably a little choppier than usual. Just want to mark my trade in my journal here. Okay, come on, keep going. This is no time to look back. Okay, so we've hit the break-even trigger, and there's some room to move here. We could, it looks like the gap about halfway into the gap is about 42.70. Just kind of eyeballing it from where it was. Oh, did I delete my line? Well, my line was around 42.50. We opened here near 43, so 42.70 looks like a pretty easy target for the market to go halfways. But you know what? I'm okay with that. And look at that. We hit our high probability target, and all of a sudden the market begins reversing. So we had chances across the board, it looks like. The hawk also produced a signal right there. The falcon perhaps a little bit required a little bit more finesse on the falcon signal. This was actually the signal printed right here. It would have been a little bit more difficult to decipher on the falcon in that it's an early trend change signal. Now the early trend change signal occurs just as the trend line changes color. The reason we don't do the early trend change signal a lot is because, well, hey, look at this one here, right? This is an early trend change signal. Didn't go anywhere. But if you have the test of the extreme, where the market's trying to retest the high and then fails, if you've got this pattern, an early trend change signal, it's okay. It's all right to take that. And I suppose you even had a miniature test of the extreme going on right here, where the market failed to take out this swing high. So you did have a couple of chances. Like I say, the falcon perhaps required a little bit more finesse or a little bit more knowledge massaging that chart to actually get the right signal. But we did get the signals, clean signals across the board here on the eagle, the raptor, and the hawk. So a nice way to start the day. Let's see what else we got going on here. Crude oil. Here's crude oil on the Falcon now. And they seem to be a little bit bullish today. Coming in off of the primary resistance, put in a little bit of a rally out of the open. Working on a trend line touch signal. We don't have any warning dots or anything yet. You can tell the width of this bar up here with the dynamic equivolume bars that I'm using. We've got some serious selling going on there, or a lot of volume anyhow. Buyers and sellers, either buyers vacating or sellers choosing to get on board. I was very pleased to see that signal out of the gate. That was definitely one of our higher probability setups this morning. With that opening gap and the market producing that sell signal, that was a pretty easy trade to take a hold of. so try not to get too excited here. Trying to wait for a little bit more structure. All right, so they're trying to put in a little bit of a rally. We've gotten back here to the hard edge. We're working on a first micro-macro cross, which we know tends to be a fairly high probability signal. This initial downtrend has me favoring the bears a little. I think I mentioned to you before, if I have a profitable trade in one direction, I'll try to favor that side. Oh, I wasn't sure if I was going to make my mute button fast enough there. I had a big sneeze sneak up on me. All right, let's put that away. And we're getting another sell signal here on the eagle. Now, this is a green bar sell. So this green bar right there was actually our signal bar. We could take a second push on this entry also. So we've got a couple of options. The second push would place the order below the low of this bar. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. So if we're going to do a second push, we're going to take this bar into consideration. We're going to enter below the low of that particular bar. The major support is right here, as you can see. So 42.70, 776 in there somewhere. And now we're working on a hard edge bounce with we saw a green signal there just a moment ago. Oh, sorry, green is buy. Oops. All right, why don't I clear that? If this comes back, we should produce another sell signal. The market really searching for some direction right now. You see, we're getting conflicting signals. We got a red bar buy here when we got the green bar sell on the Eagle. We're coming out of the Raptor now with a possible double pullback, and I see that we're getting a trend change signal in the Falcon. So we're all over the map here. Nobody's really got the upper hand at the moment. And you know, sometimes you just have to wait. Sometimes you just have to wait for the market to get a little bit of structure to it. I am liking the possibility of a double pullback signal here. No, not yet. Well, there's the big run up, so that first micro macro cross. Oh, sorry, I missed the second one. Totally my fault. I looked away here for a moment. This was the first micro macro cross here, and because it was the first trend change, it's the type of signal, you know, you're going to want to risk, well, ideally below the low. And this is why, because you could take some serious heat on the trade as it tests the extreme, and up it goes, you hit your profit target, generate another first micro macro cross at exactly the same price level, and that one had some very nice follow through to it. So you had a couple opportunities here on the hawk, first micro macro cross, red bar buy, and yet another first micro macro cross. And I think we're back near the highs of the day. All right, let's see what we got brewing here now. All right, a macro pullback turning into a 4-arrow consolidation. A lot of activity up here. Oh, thanks, Jim. Jim says the advanced decline. I missed the earlier numbers he sent me. 2,000 buyers to 300 sellers, or almost 400 sellers, so that'd be a positive 1,600. That's since slipped to 1,800 buyers and 800 sellers. So things getting slightly, ever so slightly more bearish. I'm wondering if this macro pullback signal here was able to reach its profit objective. Yes, it was. So it looks as though we're getting productive signals both ways. Look at the width of these bars. You think there's might be a little bit of stopping power going on there? A little market participation, perhaps? All right, so they're starting to fold over a little bit. We're starting to get some green bars. The eagle is actually giving us another green bar sell. It's a little broken up. And we have broken the trend line that way. We haven't shallowed out yet, though. When we start to get a little bit shallow, well, I suppose if I did a parallel trend line, that would start to get a little bit shallow, wouldn't it? Right down here. So maybe they are going to get a little bit more bullish here. All right, all these yellow bars, the width here on the eagle bars, the trend change that we're getting on the Falcon, and a possible failure signal here on the Raptor are all making me a little bit more receptive to a sell signal. Okay, so we haven't printed the signal just yet. This bar that's printing right now, if it continues lower, will print the sell signal. It's going to print it right there. I can place my entry just below the ATR. That's a little bit more aggressive than waiting for the bar to turn over. And waiting for the signal bar. Oops, forgot to submit my order. Okay, well now I guess I can wait for the signal bar. So this here became our signal bar now. I got my order in a little bit later than I intended. I wanted to enter a little bit earlier there, but hopefully we'll see this tail off a little bit again. And we're getting comparable signals. I can hear my swing and my scalper producing signals. So there's our first micro macro cross. Working on a trend change signal here on the Falcon as well as the Raptor. Let's see if we can't get a Raptor trade on. So there's the Raptor. I'm going to use the Trailblazer here just to enter an order. Oh, I've got time. I can enter an order this way. Okay. So we'll see now if we can't take it back down near the lows of the day, actually, maybe as low as 42.75, 76. That would be quite the run. That would bring us right back down here. Okay, we've hit our break even. Come on, get that first profit target. Come on, don't stop now. There you go. You can do it. Come on, you stinkers. Get down there. Oh, you're kidding me. One tick from the profit target. Now they're going to start looking back? I don't think so. See, there's that one tick that I was late getting in on the signal. There we go. Okay, and I'll probably go with something more aggressive now. Parabolics are always a favorite of mine. Bar high low is fantastic for, if you think the market's going to reverse prematurely. So we've got this candle right here that had a lot of market participation in it. So it looks as though the buyers are trying to get back into the market somewhat. Well, the advanced decline getting a little bit more bullish now. Jim says 2,000 on the buy, 700 on the sell. Says the DAX, he's following the DAX. He's getting a hard time getting through that trend line, he says, but it looks like we did get a little bit of a breakdown. There we go. Come on. Right back down here. There you go. You're getting warmer. In fact, if I got, say, 76.5, that would be, oh, I don't want to buy two, though. No, they're going to look back here a little bit. Ooh. If this held me in here, that's going to go on record as one of my luckier trades. Okay, we're getting a little bit of congestion here now. You see how they're firming up at the 42.84 and the 42.79 region. Let's see which side let's go first. Come on. Well, sometimes it helps if you hit the top of your monitor if you need it to go down. Just don't hit it too hard. There we go. Come on. Oh, a couple more ticks. There we go. There we go. Well, that worked out all right. And the market's turning pretty much where we anticipated it would. Oh, not quite to our profit objective yet here on the Eagle. I should have been watching this trade a little closer. Come on, Eagle. Here too, I'm going to just jam the stop in above the high. I'll just give it that candle. You can see we just came up a tick short, or a couple ticks short. That was because I got the later entry. Had I got the entry where I wanted it, or where I intended to get it, we would have hit our profit target. But profitable all the same, so I'm not complaining. The Eagle's coming back with a green bar here. This is looking a little bit more bullish now. Market really waffling. Alex is having a little problem with the dynamic equivolume bars. Can you show me how to do it? Sure, Alex. Well, what you need to do is you load them as you do every other utility, right? So you go to your utility, you go import NinjaScript, you find them, you import them, and then you pretty much need to restart your program. But if you've already done that, if you've already imported them, let's make sure that they're on your chart. So go to Remove NinjaScript Assembly, and then make sure you have the dynamic equivolume bars there. We're not going to remove them, but I just want to make sure that they're actually loaded. So if they're loaded, you probably need to restart your NinjaTrader. And then once you've done that, here, I'll show you from a fresh chart. That'll be easier. So let me just build a chart here real quick. Okay, so here is a YM chart with a 6-tick mean Renko bar. Now what you want to do is you want to right click or go to your data series tab, either or, but you want to go to data series. And then here in the data series, this line right here that says chart style, yours is going to say candlestick. Click on the menu, and then you can select dynamic equivolume bars. Apply that, and then your bars will turn into the equivolume bars. But if they look like that, if you're running a black background, you're going to need to change the wick color. And depending on the bar, you may even want to change the outline. So you can go with a gray or a white. So once you change those over, ta-da! And you can adjust your spacing by using your control key and your up and down arrows. That will either give you a little bit more spacing or bring the bars a little bit closer together. And with the dynamic equivolume bars, it calculates the volume relative to every other bar on the chart. Right? So if you have fewer bars on the chart, the bars are going to, relatively speaking, be a lot wider or narrower. Well, they really can't get narrower than the minimum setting. All right, so hopefully that'll get you set up. They'll automatically print for all the tools except, the wicks will print for all the tools except the Falcon. For the Falcon, you have to change your wick color to white. So you go to your data series, you go to wick. Yours will say black, and then just choose a lighter color so that you can see them. And then apply, and everything should be good. If you still have problems with it, Ben can hook you up. So I'll give you Ben's email address in case any of you are having technical difficulties like this. He's the man. Oh, here's a good question from Jim. Jim asks, Eric, if you don't have an up-down volume loaded, how do you know if it's a buy or a sell on that equivolume? The color of the candlestick doesn't mean that much. So what Jim is saying, and here, we'll go back here to the volume. So we'll get an up-down volume going here. Volume up-down, there we go. So all an up-down volume does is, if the bar finished bullish, the volume will print green. If the bar finished bearish, the volume will print red. A lot of volume charts are just generic, right? They're just blue or green or whatever color it is they choose to print. So Jim is asking, how do I know it's buying volume or selling volume when the equivolume bar starts to get fatter? Well, honestly, I don't, but you can't really tell from the candle either, or from the up-down volume either, especially with the mean Renko bars or any range style bar, not just the mean Renkos, because they tend to form independent of other variables. If the bar finishes lower, well, you're going to print a red bar. What I find to be more important is the location of the, and hold on a second, I don't want to say this wrong. The location of the support or the resistance, where the stopping power is coming in. Like you've probably noticed if you've been playing with the equivolume bars, you get these periods where the bars are very thin and yet the market is moving a long way. And you would think that, well, if the market's moving, there should be more volume associated with it. And yet that's not the case. And this is what a lot of people get confused about when they're watching volume. They've all heard that, oh, volume needs to be increasing in the direction of the trend. Well, yes, that's on a longer term scale. You know, if you're looking at a daily chart or even a weekly chart and you have a trend, a big trend, yeah, you want to see the volume increasing during that time. But if you have a short-term breakout like this, it's very often done on relatively light volume because these bars are forming so quickly, because these are a range style bar with the mean Renko bars. There's not a whole lot of time for the market to form this bar. So it's just going boom, 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 boom. Now here, when we got to this, oops, sorry, rolled a little too far. When we got back near this support area, look at what happened. All of a sudden, buyers came in. So if you were short from here, you might be thinking, all right, this is a very interesting bar because obviously the buyers are stepping up. The bar is getting fatter. It's showing a lot of participation. If the bar gets really, really wide and doesn't go anywhere, then that shows you serious stopping power. So the buyers are trying to stop the decline here. They're trying to rally it up. How do I know it's the buyers? Well, because currently the market is heading lower. The sellers have no reason to gang up at this level. Sellers are interested in selling up here. This bar here, when it got a little bit wider, this was selling power. This bar here, as it got wider, was selling power. How do I know? Because this is near other areas where the sellers have gotten in before. This bar here is buying power. The buyers are trying to rally it up, but they were unsuccessful. And now this volume here is some selling on the breakout, but also buyers having being forced out of their positions. You can tell by the width of these bars here that a lot of the buyers who bought here had their stops just below our resistance line. And how can I tell? Well, because all these orders began to get engaged and the market just kept going lower as a result. So I think as far as judging whether they're buyers or sellers going at that particular bar, at these wider bars, you have to take the trend into consideration. You have to take into consideration what's been going on there before. Like even this bar here, this one is fairly bullish because we've got a tail to it, but you can tell the sellers are trying to get on board here again. Right? There's no question the sellers are trying to buy into this, push the market down, which they did, but then the buyers took it back. So this is starting to get a little bit more bullish now. I know, it's one of those questions that, I really don't want to fumble the answer, but it's, here, maybe the crude oil chart will show us a little bit something. Whenever the bars get wider, you can anticipate that there's some extra market participation and perhaps some stopping power if there's been a trend going into the market. So for instance, here's crude oil. So crude had obvious resistance here at this level, broke through big fat bar. What is that big fat bar from? Well, it would be sellers trying to sell the market down and then buyers bringing the market right back up. And then you had the big follow through. And then look at the sellers gang up here again. Sellers saying, no, we're not going to let you go any further than this. Market comes down. Market comes up. Where are the sellers? There's no more selling going on here. So the market goes higher. And all the sellers that sold here, look at where their stops are getting hit. Getting hit right here. Buyers push it up again. The thing with the dynamic equivolume bars is that it's a tool, it's a feature to help you kind of see under the skin of the market, try to get a better feel for what's actually developing. And like most tools, you need to spend a little time with it. Yeah, zones of interest. I like that, Jim. Jim calls it a zone of interest. I think that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, like Jim says, it's above normal. So yeah, when you're looking at volume, you're looking for abnormalities. That's really the best way to interpret volume. If you get something going on that's abnormal, for instance, you get a lot of volume and no follow through. We had a lot of volume here, but we had decent follow through. If we had a lot of volume here and the market didn't go anywhere, that's an abnormality, and we could expect a full-blown reversal as a result. That's probably the best way to look at volume, really. Like here's soybeans now on The eagle, we're getting a lot of width up here on some of these bars. So we would anticipate if it broke out that there should be some follow through there. Just same thing back here, right? Buyers brought it up, came back down. Buyers got interested again, brought it up, came back down. Buyers showed more support, and boom, there it goes. So here are the buyers. The buyers have shown where they're interested. Let's see now whether the buyers come back and what those bars are going to look like. If there's going to be some buying interest there, great. Then we can have a little bit more confidence in perhaps a little bit of a move to the upside. Okay, we're taking a little bit of heat here as the market gets into the gap from this morning. I think we're pretty much there. Okay, we've just tagged our primary resistance line. And notice too how the market is starting to get a little bit more sideways, right? We had the nice move down, getting a little bit sideways, tried to move lower. Now all of a sudden we've got support already. This could be getting a little bit more bullish. Interesting comment here from Tony. Tony says another interpretation of volume could be the breakout of the imbalance. When the heavy volume is broken by buyers or sellers, it is a point of interest to enter either with the sellers or the majority of the buyers, and that's absolutely true. You'll see we're getting, a lot wider bars here now on the hawk. So we've got an area where the market is getting interested. The buyers have dug in here. It looks like the sellers are starting to dig in here around that 42.74 mark. So a failure on either end, a breakout either higher or lower, could see a little bit of a move. Yeah, I would agree with that. So here's our macro pullback signal, and that's the sellers giving it a little bit of a push. And I'm a little bit late on that, obviously, but did we hit our profit objective? Yes, we did. So a great opportunity. My charts are still dragging a little bit, and I'm not sure why. I know I've got a lot of screen sharing program and recording software and everything going. But they're causing me to get in a little bit late sometimes. Okay, so that first micro macro cross now turning into a green bar sell, and we're getting a soft edge sell here on the Raptor also, or pardon me, a soft edge buy. It's come a little bit late. It's going right into the hard edge. Normally we would like to see these develop a little bit earlier, but you know what? We do have a failure of the sell signal. So if you wanted to be more aggressive on that, you could certainly buy above here. And actually, we'll throw a runner in there. Now this is, like I say, it's a lot more aggressive posture on this particular trade. And we're getting the green bar sell here in the hawk. We have had the test of the extreme. So this is one where I might be more inclined to set up to buy the failure. In other words, the green bar sell reversing and heading higher instead of heading lower. And the Falcon working on a trend change signal. So there's a few things here suggesting we could see a little bit of a move to the upside, perhaps. Nope, that green bar sell is retesting the lows. Yeah, what makes the dynamic equivolume bars so interesting is Tony makes a comment here. We've heard this before. We all know that volume precedes price. There's really only two things that are real on your chart, your price and volume. Everything else is, computer generated. It's an algorithm of sorts. There's a real tug of war going on here, folks. Okay, here comes another green bar sell and another failure in the Raptor. So I'll set the Raptor one up first. So we had the buy signal. Essentially, this is a soft edge sell. And again, this is very, very aggressive. If you're looking for a trade to follow me on, that might not be the best one. The hawk is about to produce another green bar sell, or it was working on a green bar sell. We know these signals tend to develop near the end of a trend. So to get perhaps two green bar sells, that's actually starting to look a little bit bullish. And I might be getting a little ahead of the curve here. Look at the Geiger counter. Look at all that buying going on. Okay, so here's that green bar sell again. Oh, no, they didn't give it to me. I'll have to wait for that first micro-macro cross signal. They did engage the Raptor, and what I'll do is I'll throw a stop in. Oops, no I won't, not there. There we go. Okay, a couple of ticks, we'll have our break-even trigger. Come on! Don't stop now! So you can see here from the Geiger counter, all that buying that was going on there, that was all forming around this bar right here. Come on, buyers, get up there. Gotten a little bit quiet, but it is Friday. Come on, get going. Get going. There you go. Just got to tickle it a little bit with your mouse. There you go. All right. Oh, look at the width of that bar. There's some serious action on that one. All right, come on, one more. Here we go. Get up there. You're going the wrong way. There you go. You can do it. Oh, whew, it's hard work. Come on, get up there. Okay. So we got profit on one, and let's see about the parabolics. Where are they hiding? Back there. Well, we're break even with the other contract right now. I I'd love to see them get somewhere back here, maybe even into the middle of the opening range. That would be a huge move. Well, we got profit on one. We're break even on the other. It looks like they might be retesting here a little bit. Oh, oh well. It was still worth an effort. Oh, and now we're getting our first micro-macro cross. So again, things starting to turn over a little bit. We're getting a possible green bar sell. First micro-macro cross on the hawk. Because of the chop, you know, you're going to want to risk it a little bit deeper. And now that's into yellow bars, so we can nix that. Well, I thought they were looking a little bit more bullish, but now they're kind of floundering a little bit. A little bit of a trend change signal perhaps going on here in the Falcon. The first micro-macro cross got spoiled here on the hawk by the yellow bars, and we're working on a green bar sell here in the eagle. We'll have to give this a few moments though and see which way the wind is blowing. All right, so here comes the Falcon now with a warning dot and a possible buy. You know what's starting to happen though is the market is just starting to stagnate. We're not getting a whole lot of participation anymore. And I'm guessing it's because it's a Friday. And checking the weather forecast, it seems to be pretty nice in the east. Jim says the DAX is waffling too. He says it's getting stronger. Nope, it's getting weaker. They're just flat out looking for direction right now. There's nothing, neither here nor there. No real clue other than our tools. We're just waiting for a proper signal to develop. Got my eye here on the Raptor because we're getting a cloud crossover here on the Raptor. If it moves to the upside, we should get a retest that Raptor cloud holding the market up, and we may get that rally yet. Yeah, see, I say rally and the price goes down. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna be like that, are you? Oh, here's that trend change signal now on the Falcon. The Falcon being a little bit ahead of the curve. The signal printed right here, I wanted to take it right on the hash mark so I didn't have to make the market move so hard. And now, of course, it's kind of running on me a little bit. Oh, and the Raptor also gave me a signal just now. Come on, Raptor. So we've got a chance here to take the Raptor above the current bar or not. There we go. So this is what Tony was talking about, where we had lots of volume associated with this price level right here. And we're getting more volume coming back. So we've got a well-defined channel here. Let's see now if this breakout carries anything with it. If it breaks out. They just kissed it. All the buy orders evaporated. Come on, get up there. So I've got a pretty liberal stop here at the moment, and that's just to give me a little bit of staying power. It's nothing more than a safety net. If the market makes a full-blown reversal, goes back down below these lows, well, then that's probably a pretty obvious clue that I'm on the wrong side of the trade. One of those forehead smacking type deals. Come on. Here we go. Come on, you can do it. There you go. Get up there. There you go. Come on. Get up there, you scoundrels. Just leaving me hanging one tick. There we go. We're going to hit our break-even trigger, and now we're just going to coast into the profit target. Come on. Coast into the profit target. Where's that momentum? Oh, come on. Charles is asking, Eric, does the logic counter not work when you use the dynamic equivolume bars? No, it's still here, Charles. You probably couldn't see it because of the orders. Come on, don't you dare leave me hanging there. Get going. Where's our support and resistance lines? I think we're going to see. Oh, see, we got that Falcon trade, no problem. I want to see where the next line is at. 42.85. So that's a very probable target for us. Oh, come on. You guys. There, finally. Oh my gosh, that was hard work. I just heard the order fill. Let's see if it makes 42.85 and it's being difficult. Flinching a little bit early. It's probably going to take a little bit longer to get there. The market's definitely a little bit slower than what they were earlier on. Oh, and we're still trailing our remainder here on the Raptor trade. So 42.85. Oops, I need to change that sell order. So we'll get out 42.84 3/4 if it lets us. You can see a lot of sellers stepped up right here. A lot of buyers defending it. Come on. Here, I won't be greedy. We'll roll that in another tick. Come on. I feel like I'm at the horse races. Come on. Oh, way to go, Jim. Jim said he's scalping the YM, shorted at 67, out at 86. Up 40 ticks so far. Nicely done. Yeah, shorted 97, out at 86. Well done. Good job, Jim. Okay, come on, you guys. You're just hovering there. Don't leave me hanging. Give you a little nudge. See what my parabolics are doing. Yeah, why not? We'll squeeze them right here. Only, oh, hooray! What a wonderful day to to trade. What is that now? We've gone 4 for 4 or 5 for 5? Oh, and this is the best way to end today. A great comment from Jim. And you know what? I love to hear stuff like this from you guys because, well, quite frankly, you know, it's not just a positive testimonial, but we're doing this to help you guys become better traders. Jim writes, I've become so much more consistent trading with Indicator Warehouse. And, oh, and me. Oh, well, thank you, Jim. I've matured and now what works for me. Thanks for all your support. I love to make money this way. Hey, that's the name of the game, right? We're all here. Hopefully, take a few dollars out of the marketplace. I think we're going to wrap up the session, though. The market is really starting to get a little bit stale. If you are going to hang out for this afternoon, I think we might actually see them turn and head a little bit lower again. The market seems to have established a little bit of a range today. And for the most part, at least during the morning session, we've been pretty much confined between the primary resistance and the first resistance line. So this has kind of been our zone around the 42.85, 42.70-ish region. So now that we're back up here at 42.85, it might drift a little bit higher, maybe get 42.90, but you know what? We may see the market turn and retest the lows. I don't think we're going to see any real runaways this afternoon. All right, you guys, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. Listen, before I forget, Adam's going to send out an email, but there is no session this Monday. I'm out of town for the weekend. I won't be back in time Monday to host the room. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday. We'll talk to you then. Bye for now.